Alright folks, this week is World Autism Awareness Week, leading up to World Autism Awareness Day on Monday the 2nd of April. So in this video I thought I'd speak to you a little bit about that and a little bit about why I don't really give a toss about it. So I've seen varying opinions in one of the autism community groups that I've joined on Facebook. You've got one set of people that are saying, like, we need autism awareness, let's push for people to be more aware of autism. And then you've got another set of people saying, no, we don't care about the awareness, what we care about is the acceptance. And then you've got another group of people saying, yeah, but before we can have acceptance, we've got to have awareness. We've got to have, baby steps and awareness first, and then people will come to accept us when they're aware of the difficulties that we face as autistic people. And then there seems to be another set of people, particularly my friend Kieran Rose, who I saw comment on something the other day, saying that there's loads of things in life that we accept that we're not aware of how they work. I don't understand the mechanics of how a helicopter stays in the air and sustains its flight, but that doesn't mean that I reject then the hypothesis that that does happen. I can see that helicopters do fly, they do stay in the air. I don't actually need to understand the mechanics of how that happens for me to accept that it does happen. Like, what are the mechanics behind photosynthesis and plants growing? I don't really understand deeply how all that works and why, but we just accept that it does. Like, I'm speaking into a camera now, I don't know how to extract those raw materials from the earth and turn it into this. No idea, but I accept that my phone does work for me to make calls and look at apps and use my camera. I don't need to understand it. I don't need any awareness of it. I just accept it. So yeah, I think I'm kind of on board with that. Like, I can't take credit for myself. Like I say, it was Kieran who I saw talking about it the other day. And yeah, that struck a chord with me, because it's, I don't actually care whether you're aware of autism and what difficulties I might have with things. I just want you to accept it, really. You don't need to understand it. And, to expect you to understand it, it's almost like beating people over the head with it, like, do people want to read reams and reams of articles about, I'm interested in autism at the moment because I've had a diagnosis recently. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're all going to be interested. Try and think of like a comparable example. Like, there's been times where I think I'm good with language, but I think sometimes I think I'm better than I actually am. Sometimes I'll use an expression, a turn of phrase, and I think I know what it means. Actually, I haven't fully understood what it means and the origins of it and where it comes from. And there's some I won't say it, but there's a particular expression that we use in English that I always used, and I really thought that it just meant that you're a down-to-earth person and you just say things as they are, as you see them. But it turns out, actually, that particular expression does have its roots in like kind of racist origins. So, like, if someone points that out to you, what do? Do you go, oh, please, can I have a 500-page book? And I'll read all about it. And then, when I become aware of what the issue is from studying it intensely, then I'll accept the premise that it's racist and I shouldn't say it. Like, no, I can only divide my attention up so many ways. If you tell me that an expression that I've used actually, I didn't mean it, but it does have its roots in racist origins and perhaps I shouldn't say it, I'll just take your word for it. I'll just give you the benefit of the doubt. Fair enough. All right then, I won't say it anymore. No skin off my nose. The same as like people that, the trans community and people that have got gender dysphoria. Like, if they say, I'd rather not be referred to as a he or she, I'd rather gender neutral pronouns like they, alright then, fine. Just give you the benefit of the doubt. You're probably telling the truth, you probably understand yourself better than I understand you. Fine. But then it's like, then when it comes to, well, would you like to read this article and another article and another article, all explaining my position? Not really, to be honest with you. I just give you the benefit of the doubt. If you say that that's the case, I accept it. With autism, we seem to have this thing of like, people don't want to accept that you've got the issues that you've got unless they can like probe you on it. But why? But what? But what? Why can't you get around this issue in the way that other people do? I just can't. You're not a medical professional. The people that diagnosed me were. They know better than you about my internal experience. I know better than you about my internal experience. So if I say that something's an issue for me, I say that I can't do something because I'm autistic, just take my word for it. Just accept it. You can read article after article if you want. I can send you loads of articles to explain my positions on things. But you haven't got time for that. I haven't really got time for that. Why don't we just give people the benefit of the doubt? Just give each other the benefit of the doubt. Just assume if somebody says that they've got an issue with something, just assume that they know themselves and they're telling the truth. I think that would probably be best, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think that brings me to the end of that one. I won't be lighting it up blue or any other colour. I won't be lighting it up blue because there's that association with that Autism Speaks charity, who are a bunch of bumperclarts apparently. They advocated for an autism cure. There can be no cure for autism, and we don't want a cure for autism. Um, they also seem to advocate like some quite abusive therapies that's, a bit like training a dog. You're not actually training the dog to be less of a dog. You're not actually training the dog to be less of a dog. Like, the heart that beats inside of it is still the heart of a wild wolf. You just train it to act a little bit more like a docile animal. Like, if you die, like, your dog will probably eat your face. It's not going to be one of these, heartrending stories of where the dog lifts the phone off the receiver and dials 999 and saves you. No, like, your dog will probably eat your corpse because you've trained it to behave in a certain way, but it is still a dog. The same way with, I mean, I shouldn't use that example probably because it's like as if I'm saying that autistic people are dogs. I'm not saying that. I'm autistic. I'm not saying that we're anything like dogs. I'm saying no matter how much you try and train us to behave as if we're not autistic, we are still autistic. So even though you might then feel like, oh, brilliant, this is great because that person's made real progress, they haven't made real progress. Their internal suffering is more than it was before that abusive therapy. So yeah, I won't be lighting it up blue because of that. I won't be lighting it up any colour because, as I say, I don't really care whether you're aware of autism or not. There's plenty of resources out there that you can go and look at. There's stuff on telly recently, the Chris Packham documentary. There was the other one on Channel 4, I think it was the other day, the Are You Autistic documentary. There's loads of stuff out there. You can watch it, read it, don't watch it, don't read it. I really don't care at all. But, as I say, if you tell me that you've got an issue with something because X, I can't do X because Y, okay, mate, that's fine. No more explanation needed. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, no worries. So, the same courtesy extended the other way would be great. Thanks a lot, bye.